The Bible, a sacred book, full of wisdom, history, and promises. But beneath its verses, between the miracles and parables, there are whispers of creatures not quite human, not quite animal, and not entirely of this world. Creatures with bones like bronze, mouths that breathe fire, eyes that watch the earth from the skies above. Were they real? Or were they symbols painted by ancient hands to explain the unexplainable? Tonight, let me take you on a journey, not through a jungle or desert, but through the strange and shadowed creatures hidden in the Bible's pages. Long ago, when people feared what lay beyond the shore, they spoke of a beast, Leviathan. In the book of Job, it is written, "Can you pull in Leviathan with a fishhook? Its breath kindles coals, and flames dart from its mouth." Picture it, creature so mighty, even God describes its terror with reverence, its body armored with scales, its heart hard as stone. A sea dragon, untamed, untouchable. But Leviathan wasn't just a creature. In ancient cultures like the Canaanites, he was chaos itself, a monster of the deep. And every time someone told the tale, they weren't just describing an animal, they were warning. There are forces out there we cannot control. On the land, another creature stirred, Behemoth. Also found in the book of Job, Behemoth grazes like an ox, yet its tail sways like a cedar tree. Its bones are tubes of bronze, its limbs like iron. Is it just a poetic way to describe a hippo? Or something more? To those who lived in fear of famine, drought, and wild beasts, Behemoth was a reminder that nature, too, had its own gods, or at least creatures who answered to none. Some say Behemoth was the land's protector, others that it was the land's curse. Either way, it was not to be trifled with. There were giants in those days. That's what Genesis 6 verse 4 tells us. It's the Nephilim. They weren't just tall men. They were something else. Born when the sons of God looked upon human women and took them as wives. Angels, spirits, beings from the stars, no one truly knows but their children. Were not like us. Later, in Numbers 13, spies sent into Canaan say, "We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes." Imagine standing next to a Nephilim, 10 feet tall, strong beyond measure, eyes that glowed with something otherworldly, myth, memory, or echoes of something we've forgotten. On purpose? Not all creatures in the Bible were beasts of fear. Some were creatures of fire, of light, of divine mystery, seraphim, 6-winged beings that danced around the throne of God. With 2 wings they covered their faces. With 2 they flew, and with 2 they hid their feet, crying, "Holy, holy, holy." And then there were the cherubim, not baby angels, but creatures with 4 faces, lion, eagle, ox, and man. Guardians of Eden, watchers of sacred space. Were they visions? Were they guardians? Or were they beings so glorious the only way to describe them was with poetry and fear? The prophet Ezekiel saw something no man had seen before. Creatures with 4 faces, eyes covering their entire bodies, and wheels. Wheels within wheels, glowing, spinning, watching. They moved without turning. They followed the Spirit. And wherever they went, thunder followed. Some believe these were visions from God. Others, whisper of ancient technology, or encounters beyond the veil of time and space. One thing is certain. What Ezekiel saw changed him forever. And here's the wonder. These strange creatures in the Bible, they're not alone. In Mesopotamia, there was Tiamat, the chaos dragon. In Africa, rain serpents and sky spirits were common. In China, dragons were wise and powerful, not evil. And in Hindu lore, Garuda flew with the gods. Across time, or across continents, we all imagined creatures that stood at the edge of our understanding. So were these biblical creatures real? Were they symbols, dreams, or warnings from the old world? I cannot say for sure, but I know this. Every myth holds a question. Every legend leaves a trail. Every creature has a purpose in the story. Greater. If the Bible is the greatest story ever told, then maybe, just maybe, these creatures weren't meant to be explained, but remembered, and the story is just beginning.